Hi, everyone. It's Bev DeBono, and I have a great idea I call Tic-Tac-Toe, which I'd love to use when you have a lot of pictures to get on one page. So the Tic-Tac-Toe is really made up of 4-inch by 4-inch grids, and we separate those grids by using the Double Rick Rack Border Maker cartridge. Now, if you don't have that one, you can use anything that's a small punch or border maker cartridge. You could use small stickers, or you could also cut 1/4-inch strips with a decorative edge. So let's get started. And I use a lot of scraps for layouts like this. And this one on the right-hand side, this fall one, is definitely made out of a lot of scraps from various collections that we've had with Creative Memories over the years. And this title here was actually a mat that came with the collection, and I just cut it down to a 4x4 square. So you can have decorations at 1, 2, or 3 of your grids, or you can just, like I did on the one on the left, put a title or a decoration right in the middle. Whatever you need to do, and it just showcases the number of photos that you have. So to get started, you're going to need a base paper to put all these grids on. So I'm going to create another one that's on the left here. And I'm going to use a base paper. And this is a great time to use a paper such as one of the cover sheets from our collections, because these are photo safe. But because we're going to cover the entire paper up with squares, it's a perfect way to utilize these excess pieces of paper. Then you're going to need 9 4x4 squares. So whatever combination of colors you have that will work for you to make 9 squares is what you're going to use. Since you're all using your own papers, I'm looking forward to seeing all of your creations. And in some of them, you might want to put 1 or 2 solids or something that's a little tonal. You don't want so much pattern on this because so much of it is going to get covered up with photos. Okay, so I have my one piece of base, and now I'm looking for the papers that I'm going to use for my squares. And I'm just pulling. You can use 4 or 5 papers. You can use just 2 colors. You can use 3 colors, whatever you like. I like to take a paper also that has a nice design or a big contrast on the back. And then that way I can use the front and the back of that paper as well. And then you're going to need 1 solid that you're going to make your dividers with. And you're going to mark your grids with a very prominent color, such as the ones I did with these. Okay, so let's get started. All we're doing right now is going to be cutting 4-inch by 4-inch squares. And then I'm going to just lay them on my grid as I cut them so I can build my design. So just start cutting. You need 9 4x4 squares. So if you have scraps that are 4 inches by 4 inches, or whatever size you have that you can cut down to 4 inches by 4 inches, go ahead and use them. As long as they coordinate, you are good to go. As I said, I'm just doing some 4x4 squares. And I want to also show you a little trick here. The piece that I put in the middle is this 4x4 square that came from this little embellishment pack that I have from Creative Memories. So these little pieces, and we have them for Croptoberfest and National Scrapbook Day and other little goodies. This is also photo safe. And so this is a 4x4 square, and that will now become my center square. I know it looks a little funny because I have it on that, let me just turn it around because I have it on that, I'm using that piece. So I'm just building my pattern, and sometimes you're going to just cut a color and then you decide, oh, I'm not sure if I like that color with it. That's fine. Just play with the colors until you come up with colors that might work. At the back of this, I have this one, but that I'm thinking that might be too dark because my border maker ones are going to be very close to that color. So maybe I'm not going to use that color. So that's what I mean. You can cut colors and then decide not to use them based on what you have going on. So because I'm thinking that might be too dark, so play around with the placement of them. There's no right or wrong, and you don't have to have the same amount of numbers of the squares at any time. They're just 9 various 4x4 squares. So I could do this one like this, but as I said, because I'm thinking that one might be a little dark because I'm going to use a darker divider there, I might switch it to a lighter color. So it's just playing around with it until you come up with the pattern that you like, the way you like it. Now on this one, I might decide to put the title up at the top, which means then that I would move these around. Okay, so there's no right or wrong. And that looks just as cute. Okay, so we're making a patchwork, and once you get your patterns and how you like them, then it's time to just tape them down. And I'm going to use my regular tape on this. You could use your repositionable tape if you want to make sure that they are not going to come up from the edges. And I find that it's easier to do your 4 corners first. So I'm going to just move everything off a little bit to the edge there. And I'm going to do my 4 corners first, because if there's any overlap that has to be done, I could do that with the middle square that has to go between the two, or I can cover it up with the border maker cartridge. So just go ahead and do your 4 corners first. And then once you get your 4 corners, then start filling in the middle. I would do the middle of the top, the butt. I would, just go around, and the last piece you're going to put in is the one that goes right in the middle. And then that way it will help with if you need to cover up anything that has shifted. And this comes together really, really quickly. but it's a really cute design that you can do over and over. I like this one for Halloween. I like this one for Christmas, birthday parties, kids parties, school activities. As I said, you can use it over and over and over. So there you go. Now my last piece is the middle piece. My last square. And there you go. And now I'm going to punch out some borders with the Double Rick Rack Border Maker cartridge. Now this one kind of got lost, I think, in the shuffle because it came out at a time that there's so much had come out and we didn't really do a lot with it at the time it came out. But I want to show you, it's a cute, cute one, and one that you can use for many different things. So I'm going to punch this first. And if you have never used the Border Maker cartridge, I just do it because I assume everybody does, but let me just let you know what this is. This is two pieces that come with the Border Maker cartridge. You have the housing unit that holds the cartridge, and you can switch your cartridges. We have many, many different cartridges. And you put the flat edge in the back, and you make sure that you hear that click, and then this lever goes up, and that is how you punch. You can punch a complete border, or you can use this as a punch itself. Then we have the paper holder, and the paper holder has the paper guide, which is located underneath. You slide that up till it clicks into place. You lift up this blue handle, slide your paper into the paper guide until it comes right to the edge of where the paper guide ends, and put down your magnetic lever, and then push the paper guide behind, and you see that magnet holds that paper in place. And now we're going to line up the teeth on the cartridge. There's a big tooth and a little tooth. There's also a little marking here, and that marking goes with the marking that's on the side of the cartridge, the paper holder. Okay, so we're going to slide it in and punch all the way down. Now, as I said, this one actually punches two at the same time, and you get two very nice and even borders. If you have any of these whiskers, just clip them off with your microtip scissor. Just going to clip it. That one's moving. It is alive. There we go. Get rid of your punch debris. Now, depending on what punch you use, sometimes you can use these little pieces for smaller little things. So little things like this you can use to make pockets. You can use for pumpkins, for the grin on a pumpkin, or anything like that. So there's some fun little things that you can do with your punch debris. So I'm going to open this up again, move it down, and slide it in, and do one more set of borders. Okay, and once you have your borders cut, then you are able to then just put them down with the repositionable tape and your silicone mat. Now, I use the repositionable tape because it takes the place of the glue pen, and it's so much faster. The repositionable tape has little micro dots, and when you use it on a silicone mat, or if you don't have that, I use wax paper or piece of parchment paper or the back of drip of stickers that you have used up. So it's on my silicone mat. I just run it one way down. And it creates very little micro dots. Don't know if you could see it. It only sticks to the paper. So there's nothing else that's sticking onto my silicone mat. And when you have your layout on your 13 by 13 mat and it's perfectly lined up, you can just put your edge. Now this one is going to go from the number 8 on the left side to the number 4 on the right side. You don't have to measure. You can see that it's lined up by matching the numbers on your mat. This mat has been such a fast feature and one that I love so much that you see I have 2 side by side and then my silicone mat underneath it. And you see how fast this comes together, but it's such a cute layout. And then I want to quick show you what else you can do with these little zigzags. You can make pockets. And then decorate your title. Just like that. And then I'm going to add maybe another little sunshine in the corner right there. Okay, so that is our grid for tonight. But I want to just show you really quick and that this double Rick Rack, you can use it to make cute little pockets. And we will be doing this in a couple weeks at this class. So so you can use that Rick Rack to make cute little pockets, and I probably will be doing it in denim with little white on it to make it look like the white stitching on jeans and stuff like that. So, but anyway, that's a really cute border maker cartridge, and you can use it over and over again. Just change up your papers, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's layout. And I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. It's Bev DeBono Designs. Please subscribe to me, and I post a video every week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.